Hello, it's the 10th of June 2020 and day 86 of my self-isolation period. Historical record first, they announced 245 deaths in the UK in 24 hours, making a total of 41,228, although the Office for National Statistics has talked of there having been 51,766. And as I mentioned before, if you look at the excess deaths during the pandemic row to the end of May, it's over 63,000. So take your pick. Take your pick. Comparing now with the 23rd of March, on the 23rd of March we had 100,000 new infections every day, and the R figure was 3. And now we're talking about circa 5,600 new infections a day, and R is between 0.7 and 0.9, which means that 10 people will pass it on to 8 others. So I mean, it's definitely better now. Let's hope it just keeps getting better. Okay, Boris Johnson announced that single adult households will be able to bring another household into their home as part of a support bubble. And the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development said, joyfully, that the UK is expected to suffer a deeper recession than any other country in the developed world because of the coronavirus pandemic. Great. Okay. So, what about me today? Well, main thing of the day was my hospital visit. This is today's Wednesday, and I had this little check on me done prior to receiving treatment on Friday. So I went in. It was weird actually. Well, it was kind of confusing as well. I mean, I got in there and it's like a ghost town. There's literally no one around. Reception's empty. The waiting room's empty. So I just kind of stood in a position where I could see down 2 legs of this hospital wing in the hope of seeing someone. Eventually a nurse turns up. Name? She said. Gave him a name, date of birth. And she said, oh, you're meant to be having a telephone conversation, not being here. And I said, well, they normally take blood, so that's going to be kind of difficult. This has happened before. I probably mentioned it before. So, okay, take a seat. Another nurse comes along. Come in here, we'll weigh you, take your blood pressure. Okay. Now, I've been kind of monitored and guided through this process by a particular nurse in charge of the research program called Sharon. There's no sign of Sharon. So this other nurse weighs me, does a blood pressure, sit there, okay. Then it was, oh, the doctor will see you now. Okay. Go in, have a chat with the doctor. Then he says, okay, take a seat. Eventually, I see Sharon. She's down there. Get up there. And she says, oh, Dr. Winter wants to have a chat with you. And this other nurse goes, Dr. Bird's just spoken with him. Has he? Oh, okay. So Sharon starts doing her stuff. Did my blood pressure again. Oh dear. Took blood. Accepted the weight that I'd had done. Then another nurse appears and says to Sharon, this is meant to be a telephone consultation. Oh dear God, it was all going round in circles, and Sharon's going, yeah, but he had to come in anyway to have his blood taken and all that, so what's the point? Oh, So it's not a administrative mistake then. No. Oh my God. Anyway, they took blood. In fact, it was a nurse that needed some practice. Took the blood, and she did a bloody good job. She was the best of all the people I've had do it. So, took blood and made me fill out a survey, and then I was on my way. Eventually. So, yeah, that's good. That's done. Other than that, I've done more boring old admin that you don't want to know about, but it's to do with pensions. Had a chat with my IFA. There you go, this is excitement for you. Oh, when I was talking with the doctor, that was quite interesting. Because, I mean, Sharon says to me about how wonderfully I've done with my treatment, chemo, surgery, all of that. And the doctor said to me that me being classed as vulnerable is this kind of, I've fallen into this catch-all net for people who've been in my situation, which is fair enough. But he said that in actual fact I've done really well, and that, you know, I'm at one extreme end of the spectrum, and in actual fact I could just as easily, instead of being self-isolating, I could have just been acting like the general population so long as I was sensible, which is great because, as you know, I have been going out a bit, and in fact, you know, feel like a fraud about the self-isolation. So that was good news. Now, talking about the self-isolation situation, Suzanne's been asking me how long I'm going to keep doing this, and I said it was my intention to do it for the 12 weeks that the government told me I should self-isolate. It's kind of a record of how you get on when you self-isolate. Okay? My self-isolation has not been as extreme as no doubt many people's. So it's actually been much easier for me. But the end of 12 weeks, or in actual fact 13 weeks for me, because I started a week early. So that's 91 days, isn't it? 91 days, and I'm on day 86. So these videos may stop fairly shortly. What will I do then? I'll have to think about that. I don't think Suzanne's too keen on me carrying on, because I do them sort of very late in the day. What's the time now? 11:30. I do them late in the day so that I know everything that's kind of been going on. But I don't know. Do I carry on doing a daily one? Maybe I do a weekly update. Don't know. Have to think about it. So what else have I done? I watched a film on the telly called Snowden, about Edward Snowden, and I thought it was quite good. Yeah, I think it's an Oliver Stone film, so I mean he's coming from a definite angle. But it may have influenced my opinion on all that whistleblowing that Snowden did. And yeah, he's still kind of trapped in Russia. He never wanted, he didn't expect to be stuck in Russia, but he has been stuck in Russia for some years. And finally, yeah, So my masks, what I didn't tell you was, they've got a pocket in them for a filter. I'm not really sure what sort of filter. My sister was using coffee filters. But this one, I showed you one the other day, but this one, different. Still makes me look like Lee Evans. But see what I mean about the gentleman's cravat sort of idea? I think it would work. I've ordered a thing to try and stop me from looking like Lee Evans, so that it holds the elastic back a bit. Yes. Anyway, there we go. So, that's it from me today. I'm going to say bye-bye. See you tomorrow. I'm off to bed. Night-night.